Good morning students, welcome back to the class, and in today's practicals we will be estimating the amount of calcium and magnesium in the soils. So for estimating we need to extract this calcium and magnesium from the soils, and for this we need to mix one part of the soil with 5 parts of water, shake it for half an hour, then filter. Then your extract will be ready for the estimation of calcium and magnesium. So first let us see the extraction of calcium and magnesium from soil. So for the preparation of soil water extract, we need 2 mm sieved soil, and we have to take 100 grams of 2 mm sieved soil, and now you have to mix this in 1:5 ratio. That is, you are taking 100 grams of soil in a reagent bottle, and this is 500 ml of water. That is 100 grams of soil is mixed with 500 ml of water in a reagent bottle. Now cap it tightly and shake it for half an hour. So this process can also be done on a rotary shaker, where you can mix soil and water in 1:5 ratio and shake it for half an hour. Otherwise you can employ this method also. Now after shaking for half an hour, the extract is now filtered through Wattman number 1 filter paper to get a clear filtrate. So after this we have got a clear filtrate in which we will be estimating calcium and magnesium now. Now your extract is ready. Now we need to understand the principle behind the estimation of calcium and magnesium. So let us look at the principle. We know that calcium and magnesium ions are metal cations. So when metal cation reacts with an indicator, it forms metal cation indicator complex, which is relatively stable. When this metal indicator complex is made to react with EDTA, which is a powerful chelating agent, the metal detaches from the indicator and gets embedded in the EDTA. And these reactions are associated with the color changes. So in the first case, when the metal ion binds with the indicator, it gives a particular color, and again when the metal detaches from the indicator and gets embedded in the EDTA, the color changes to some other color. So these color changes help us in identifying that all of the metal that is present in the soil water extract has been embedded by EDTA. So this is the principle behind the estimation of calcium and magnesium in water. Here you can see the chelating agent like EDTA, it binds the metal ion very strongly. So the metal ion completely fits into the structure of the chelating agent, and it is very stable component. This structure shows the chemical structure of the EDTA, and when EDTA comes across metal ion, it binds it so strongly. Here it is bounded by 6 bonds, and it is a very stable metal complex. So after understanding the principle of estimation of calcium and magnesium, in determination, actually this involves 2 steps. In the first step, we estimate calcium. In the second step, we estimate calcium and magnesium. If you see the procedure, you will clearly understand why we should perform 2 different experiments. Let us see the first one, that is estimation of calcium from the soil water extract. Here the soil water extract is made to react with indicator, which is muroxide. So when it is made to react with indicator at pH 12, which is made possible by addition of 16% sodium hydroxide, calcium alone binds with indicator to form a metal indicator complex. You may be wondering what happened to the magnesium. So at such high pH level, magnesium is precipitated as magnesium hydroxide and it does not participate in the reaction. So in this first experiment, in this first step, we can only determine the calcium. So when we titrate this calcium indicator complex with EDTA, you will be finding the calcium being embedded with EDTA complex. In the first step, when calcium is reacted with indicator, the color which it gains is rose red. Whereas in the second step, when we titrate it against EDTA, the calcium is embedded by the EDTA, letting the indicator free, and the end of reaction is indicated by the purple color. So the first initiation is appearance of the rose red color and the end of reaction is appearance of purple color. This indicates that the calcium is bounded with indicator and later it is coming out of the indicator and gets binded or embedded in the EDTA. So this titer value will give us the total calcium that is present in the soil water extract. So that is about the first step in estimation. Coming to the second step or the second experiments, here we estimate both calcium as well as magnesium in the soil water extract. Here we make the soil water extract react with indicator, which is EBT, that is iriochrome black tea. So at pH 10, both calcium and magnesium react with indicator, forming a complex with indicator, and this pH is made possible by addition of ammonium acetate and ammonium hydroxide buffer. And when you add this buffer and the pH is raised to 10, both calcium and magnesium bind with indicator, and that is indicated by appearance of wine red color. Now when we titrate this with EDTA, both the metal cations detach from the indicator and get embedded in EDTA, and the end of this reaction is indicated by appearance of sky blue color. So these are the two steps involved in estimation of calcium and magnesium. Now let us do the experiment physically in the laboratory. Experiment number 1, where we determine the calcium in the soil water extract. Now we are ready with the soil water extract here. 16% sodium hydroxide, which is used to raise the pH to 12, and the indicator used in this first experiment is ammonium perchlorate, which is nothing but muroxide. Muroxide is also called ammonium perchlorate, and this is the standard EDTA solution 0.01 N, which we take in the burette. So we conduct this experiment in china dishes because the color variations from the beginning to the end point are very clear, and let us start the experiment now. So we are taking 2 ml of the soil water extract in each of this china dish. Dilute it with little of distilled water. Now add 16% sodium hydroxide to raise the pH to 12. Now we add the indicator, that is meroxide, a pinch of it. Now you see the rose red color with meroxide. Now let us titrate this with EDTA. The initial reading is 5.2. Now we titrate this against EDTA, standard EDTA, until the color changes from rose red to purple. See, you can see the beautiful change of color from rose red to purple. There shouldn't be any tinge of rose red. With one drop we can stop it. So this is the final color, that is end point, that is changing from rose red to purple. Now let us take the purity reading. Let us titrate the second sample. Note down the initial reading and titrate till the rose red changes to purple. There shouldn't be any tinge of rose red, it should be absolutely purple. So you can stop here. So this is absolute purple, which is the end point for the first experiment, is calcium estimation. Note down the title value. So after doing the estimation of calcium and arriving at a uniform title value for 2 consecutive titrations, we will next proceed to the calculations. So before going to the calculations, which are similar in case of calcium estimation as well as calcium and magnesium estimation, now we'll move to the second part of the experiment, that is estimation of calcium and magnesium. So let's start the estimation of calcium and magnesium in the soil water extract. We'll take 2 ml of the solution. So we'll take 2 samples. Now dilute it with distilled water. Add the buffer, that is ammonium chloride, ammonium hydroxide buffer, to raise the pH of the solution to 10. If you raise it beyond 10, what happens is magnesium will not participate in the reaction. It will be precipitated as magnesium hydroxide. So we should take care that its pH is raised only up to 10. For that we are using a weak buffer, a weak alcohol. Now we'll add the indicator, that is Viriochrome black tea. And we titrate this with the standard EDTA. So note down the initial burette reading, it is 1, and we will continue the titration till the contents change from this mauve color or the wine red color to sky blue. So sky blue is the end point of the reaction. So it has already turned blue. Note down the titer value. So it is 1.9. So initial reading is 1 and final reading is 1.9. Now let us the initial reading for this is 1.9 and let us do the titration till it changes to sky blue. So with one drop the entire contents have turned sky blue. So the end point is 2.8. So coming to the calculation part, the formula is same for either calcium estimation or for the calcium and magnesium estimation. We express the concentration of calcium or magnesium in milliequivalents per liter, and it is equal to titer value into normality of EDTA into 1000 by amount of aliquot taken in ml. So substituting this formula for our experiment, let us see the calculations. So now substituting our titer values in the formula, it is 6.6 ml into concentration of EDTA 0.1 into 1000 divided by amount of aliquot taken is 2 ml. So this has come to 3 milliequivalents per liter. Now let us see the calculations of calcium and magnesium. Calculations of amount of calcium and magnesium together, substituting the titer value, that is 0.9 ml into concentration of EDTA into 1000 divided by the amount of aliquot taken 2 ml. So this has come to 4.5 milliequivalents per liter, that is calcium and magnesium. So in the earlier experiment our value was 3 milliequivalent per liter, and if you subtract 3 from 4.5 you will get the value of magnesium alone, that is magnesium is 4.5 minus 3, that is 1.5 milliequivalents per liter. Magnesium alone.